Alright, let's start it up. We are back with another game of Deceive Inc. We're playing Cavaliere here today, and we're using the Holomimic. That's really our challenge, is just we're using the Holomimic. Not that that's particularly actually a challenge, but it has been pointed out by actually a couple commenters that I don't really use it at all. I think I've actually used it like once in a video, which I think makes it the least used gadget, and that's saying something considering the state of Signal Scrambler. But you maybe notice I'm intentionally not taking the scout outfit. That's for something that's going to come up in a little bit. But we're doing Holomimic here. I need something to mimic. Should have grabbed a toilet when I was in the bathroom. And but I also there was a request that sounds very difficult, and it was, and I definitely accomplished it, and will be. Well, that'll be the next game, actually. Game 2 is actually already recorded. We're doing game 1 first here. There's no one in here, so I'm just going to go in this outfit and not worry about it right now. In fact, if I can get this chair, that's good. I kind of want the plant, though. Nope, can't get the plant. Chair it is. So the challenge was to just be in a mimic as much as possible / all the time, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually accomplished that. If you want me to see a game where I am in Holomimic more than I am not in Holomimic, that's next game. Stick around, it'll be there. It's already recorded. You'll hear me say, all right, let's start it up again, because I didn't know it was going to be game 2 at the time. But I don't think it's all that exciting, and the reason it's not all that exciting is because the Deceive community is just too nice, and except for the very end of the game, when anyone saw me being a super obvious Holomimic, they just didn't care. They just like let me go about my business as a plant for like most of the game. So yeah, that's really it. They just kind of let me do my thing. And then at the end of the game, when people decided they actually wanted to win, we fought, and well, yeah, that's really it. We're going to put this down. So this is usually how you see the Holomimic used, is if you have a civilian or less disguise than the one you actually need, as long as you're not being scolded by a guard, you can just do something like that, and you'll be good to go. So you can do that really, as much as I love the bonds, I'm sure 1 intel. You know, as long as you're not, and yes, as long as you're not being actively scolded, you can just do that. So as long as you can get the mimic portion of the Holomimic off before you're getting scolded, it's good. Also, if you break line of sight with who's ever scolding you, you can just pop the mimic. Really, if you're not worried about the noise the mimic makes, you can just spam it until you're around a corner far enough, and then once you're in Holomimic, all the guards, you know, do the normal NPC and go, oh, where'd he go? And then you're off the hook, and then you can get your cover back while you're in mimic form. We might try to show that off. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of ways I can 100% show off that mechanic. I guess there is. I could just break my cover and have our friend Amber there demonstrate for us. But there we go. What is? Oh, that's the lock. For some reason, my perception was not seeing that blue lock properly. Let's grab all this intel. We are gonna want to get the blue over there. Is she still in here? She's not still in here. Well, she can't be the beautiful assistant I need her to be if she's not in the room. So maybe we can find a green room that's off to the side somewhere that we can use. Like over here in this corner. Alright. The staff in the green room? Of course not. Of course not, of course not. I also don't have a green keycard, I just realized, so that's great. Let's get a civilian disguise. And we'll see if we can show this off, the scolding thing, specifically. Maybe we cannot. Alright. this is a terrible spot to do this, but this is where I'm gonna do it. If we're getting scolded, we can just do this. And you see I stepped behind her, so the scold kind of like stopped. That wasn't a great example because it happened like instantly. Maybe we can get another one here. Hello. Oh yeah, that also happens if you mimic as a chair. They just... Okay, so we're being scolded, and I can do it. Did they change it? Okay, when you're out of cover, I can't do it. But if I can lose... Drop line of sight from her. Actually, we did it right there for a second. There we go. Get cover back, and we're good to go again. Also, I'm just tormenting this guy at this point. So yeah, you can do it as long as you're still in cover. There we go. We have learned together. As soon as you get out of cover, you have to break line of sight. This is how much I use the Hollow Mimic. These are things I can know, but have never... This is what happens when I know things are possible, but I haven't actually tested them myself. So, yeah, that's really what we can do. We can technically do the rest of this as a civilian and just Hollow Mimic whenever we need. Or we can change disguise, as we already saw, while we're mimicked, and we don't really need to worry about that sort of thing. Now, we're not going to do the rest of this as a mimic. If you want to see me play a game entirely as a mimic, that'll be right up next. But we might go to the vault as a civilian, and we can show off grabbing a disguise again. Oh, that's a Cavaliere. I'm going to go up a floor. And we will change disguise.
Try and blend in with the crowd.
See if anyone has cared. Seems like no. Can move that. Alright, so I should just grab the Doug outfit and go here. But I'm purposely making the wrong choice. And this might cost us. Okay, well I almost got it without even that. There we go. And now with this card. Perfect. And you know, even if there was no guard there, we could have kept going as a civilian up until the point we started getting scolding, do the mimic, and move on. It's pretty simple. That's really its best use. The other use is if you're being like chased, you might be able to duck around a corner and pop your mimic. Oh look, we're gonna do it again. I actually could have done this probably without the mimic, but there we go. But yeah, there we go. That's kind of the main use I see of the mimic, is just to do stuff like this, get into rooms without disguises and not having to bait the guards towards the door the way I usually do. But yeah, and then, yeah, I said it already, but to repeat, the other thing you can do is just... interesting, hang on. Okay. Is just when you're being chased, duck around a corner mimic. The problem with that move is it does in fact make noise when you mimic. A kind of quiet one when you go into mimic, but a really loud one when you go out of mimic. So that's good to know if you're trying to do these sorts of things. Let's get a bunch of this intel. And the other thing is, if you know someone's using package vision and you're in a mimic, what it looks like to them is just someone crouching. That's how you can tell if someone's mimicked and you have package vision, if they just kind of look like they're standing still and crouching. Of course, they could also just be standing still and crouching. Are you in the room with me right now? No. Alright, well, saw you. Doesn't reach. Alright, shoot the notebook a little bit. There we go. That was the only guy. That's kind of sad. Gameplay-wise, we showed off the Hollow Mimic a lot, and next game you'll see me use it a lot. But in terms of fights, this was a little lackluster game, but we did talk a lot about how to use the Hollow Mimic, so I think this is going to be a game one, a little bit lackluster on the actual gameplay, but the conversation was pretty good, and I hope the next game is interesting, if nothing else. So, there we go. We're extracting. I think it was just the one. Did we even see more than one person in this game? I was just playing with the Hollow Mimic on C for like half the time. I can't remember if we saw a second person. I don't think we did. But there we have it. Some Hollow Mimic gameplay. And up next we have some pure only Hollow Mimic gameplay. Was it just the one? I think it was just the one. It was just the one. So there we go. Pretty simple game, but I really liked what I was talking about in this one. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed. Like the video if you did. Subscribe for daily Deceive Inc content like this. And there is a game 2 coming up. So I will see you guys there. But I already did in my time. Alright, let's start it up. We are back with another game of Deceive Inc. We're playing Cavaliere here today. Another one of our challenge builds. This one involving the Hollow Mimic. So the challenge here, a couple people have mentioned the Hollow Mimic and various challenges. The one we're going with is, at least for this instance I suppose, is can we be in the Hollow Mimic as much as possible? And as you can see, I'm not currently in Hollow Mimic form, and that's because I'm giving myself a little buffer at the start just to get started. But other than that, we're going to try our best to be in the Hollow Mimic as much as possible. So we'll start that in a moment here once we leave this room, although it sounds like there's a fight, so this might already be interesting. Let's go for it. Can we third person camera? I remember where that was. That was probably at A. We want to make our way to B. So I've got Cavaliere here because I figured we're not going to get first shot advantage ever. It's just not something that's ever going to happen. I can't catch this person and take their disguise. This is the fastest you can move, by the way. And I took bounce pad because I thought we might have to get away. And Cavaliere here, so if someone does shoot us, we can just kind of bullet hose them and hope we win. And also I can sort of guard the room I'm in with my expertise. That's my idea. We'll see what happens. I will say that this is a smaller lobby. I'm so mad right now. She knows what she did. That was purposeful. This is a somewhat smaller lobby. Okay, unhollow mimic, hit F, do this. I don't use the hollow mimic often, so it's gonna be me trying to figure stuff out a lot. 2 plants right next to each other, definitely not sus. Yeah, this is the plan, and we're gonna move really slow the whole time, and unless I have to not. I could probably have wedged myself in that corner, but that dug opened our door. Let's head on up. I am gonna want to switch mimic props fairly frequently, I think, as I enter rooms and stuff. I guess this plant's pretty universal. It's actually not a bad one to have.
I'll use that.
But yeah, basically, if anyone sees us, we're gonna be in trouble. So I forgot I had my guns out. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. That's the long and short of it. So we're going. We'll see how we do. I need 8 intel. Got ourselves a key card. The big problem is beyond just if we get seen, we kind of get shot. We're so slow. Like, there's no way if we don't get to the package first, and we won't look at it, we catch anyone, right? Like, we just can't. So yeah, already realizing this is going to be a bit of an issue. Because we just can't make it to anything in the amount of time we need. So we might have to stop this for phase 3.
Come on,
I
Bert.
want to get my blue is why I'm still getting intel. I also need to reload, so you know what? We're going to take a second out of our cover, grab the rest of this intel, Go back in, and we'll try. We also can't jump. That should be pretty obvious, but hitting space just takes out a mimic. That's actually good to know. Didn't know that a second ago. That also, like, just falling took me out a mimic. So that also we might be able to use as an advantage, sort of. I really hope there's some dead people spectating. Okay, so it lets me remove that, but it doesn't let me place it while I'm at plant. Can we be the copier? You can definitely be the copier. It's definitely more sus, but I just wanted to know. Yeah, there's no way we're going very quick. Unless there's somehow only 2 people left alive and I'm one of them, this is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. We might have to change some rules here. Hi. I feel like if you were a player, you would have shot me by now. Alright, this forces us out of Mimic, which is going to be speed. That's right, the secret tech you never saw coming. Now we could just like camp somewhere, but as soon as someone gets the package, then they just know to run away from us. I'm gonna wedge along this wall. I can't even do that properly because I gotta look to see stuff. This elite guard might be a player. You can also change disguises while you're a thing. I'm sure if someone saw us, they would just take pity on us. Honestly, if I got a chair, that might be the best bet, because half the people would just sit on us. Also, if you see a chair coming at you, I do recommend you just sit on it. It's usually someone trying to get an achievement, and they're not gonna like stand up and shoot you immediately. Look at those keycards, though. There we go. Somehow the package still hasn't been grabbed, so we're just going about our business. We are in a good disguise. We never got a gray. I can't handle the speed here. I'm going so slow. Alright, what are we looking at? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that a lot. I gotta remember that clicking. Hi? You're... Yeah, see? It's a friendly. You can't do this challenge. People are too nice. They're too nice. We'll say we attempted it, but you know, I don't think this is very what people were hoping to see when this was a request. So we might do just some hollow mimic gameplay. And I'll well, you'll see this part because I will in fact show this off as to why we can't complete this challenge. The Deceive community is too good. We are too nice to each other. So if you're the person on my head and you ever see this, nice. Nope. Alright, I need to change props. Alright, they're going off to win the game. I'm going to change props. They'll never suspect. This might be okay. Oh, shoot, what I should do, don't click. They are in this area. Or are they not now? Did I lose them? I think I lost them. Dang it. Oh, we can't catch. It's impossible to catch anyone. It's literally impossible to catch anyone. I have to not be in a mimic. Like, there's no way. There's just no way. That's probably a player, maybe. Yeah, I can't do this in phase. I can't do it at all. Like, the challenge has already failed because we had a friend. I mean, it's not necessarily too friendly or anything, but I don't know what to do. Water cooler.
Extraction vehicle on standby.
I'm coming. Yeah, you can't even make it.
I'll have these to go. Thank
Health critical.
Okay.
you. Oh well, not my problem.
Well, that was a game.